All right, what's up everybody? I'm back with another video. This one, we're going to talk about some different ways you can get honing mats, besides just your 2 daily chaos dungeons and guardian raids. So if you're hurting for mats, you're trying to push tier 2 or tier 3, I've got a few different ways that you can actually get mats besides your normal chaos dungeons and guardian raids. You may or may not know about these, that's totally up to your experience. But I do want to list them and give you the different options you may have and maybe some that you don't know about. Some of these are weekly, so you can do them every week, and some of them are a one-time deal where you do it once, you got the mats, and then it's done. Either way, we're going to talk about those. So I'm going to add timestamps down below. So if you feel like you know about most of these, then feel free to go through those timestamps, figure out any of those that maybe you don't know about, and just skip to that part of the video. But with all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and skip into the first one, which is going to be the merchant trade ship. So the merchant trade ship, to get there, it's really easy. Doesn't matter what continent you are on. All you need to do is click M for your map and then just click ready to sail. And it's going to send you out to the port just outside of that continent. And I'm sure you've done this before. You've been to all of these different ports, but maybe you didn't know that this had these mats sitting there waiting for you every week. We click set sail, and you can see if I open my minimap here that we've got these 2 blue ships on the minimap. These are your trade ships. So this is the traveling merchant ship. So when you go to those, this is where you can actually exchange your pirate coins for these different coins. You can also buy some different you can get some runes here, you can get a sail glyph. You can see I like the different sails, so I've snagged that. But these all cost pirate coins. But if you go to, you can also get ship parts here. If you go to normal on this tab here, this is where you can actually buy honing materials. And you can do this every week. You see you get a weekly limit. So every Thursday this resets and you can buy these honing materials. You can see I've gone ahead and bought the tier 3 materials. And the really cool thing about these materials is for the destruction and guardian stones for each tier, those are tradable. All right, that means you can share those between your characters. You can put them on the market if you'd like to. Those are tradable. But the big thing to know is that the shard pouches are not tradable. So make sure you're buying these on the character that you want to use them on. If you're going to buy these shard pouches, buy them on the character that's going to use them, because once you buy them, they are bound to that character. Not the stones, but the shards. The shards are going to be bound. But you can do this once a week, and they're not too expensive. You know, if I wanted to buy all of these guardian stones, so I could buy 90 for the week, that's going to be 4,500 pirate coin. And hopefully you've amassed a lot of pirate coin just through your adventures, doing your dailies and sending ships out from your stronghold, so that you can actually do this weekly. So that's one really good way. Again, this resets every week, and it's a quick way to get mats. And if you're in tier 3, you can buy these mats and sell them if you wanted to. And so that's the first tip, the trade ship. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to talk about bloodstones. All right, so another great way to get mats is to trade in your bloodstones that you will get from your guild. And so you do need to be in a guild. I would highly recommend making sure you are in a guild, and you're in a guild that is pretty active, meaning people are donating, people are supporting research, the guild leaders are putting up research tasks like very often. They're constantly trying to upgrade the guild, because this is going to increase the amount of bloodstones you can get, and this is going to make the amount of resources you can buy from the vendor increase as well. So you can buy more resources, and you can gain more of the bloodstones to buy the resources with as well. So once you're in your guild, you just make sure that you donate every day. If they have research, you can support the research, and that's going to give you bloodstones. But not only that, at the end of the week, after you've been constantly researching, doing the tasks that the guild puts up, you're going to get more and more of this completion rate done. And once you get that to 100%, you're going to get your bonus of extra bloodstones at the end of the week. So when the week resets on the Thursday, you're going to get your payout of bloodstones for that week. And then once you've got your bloodstones in hand, you go to your map and you find this vendor, the Bloodstone Exchange. I'm not even going to try to say the first word, but it's a Bloodstone Exchange. This is where you turn in those bloodstones that you got, and you can buy a variety of things. So let's go ahead and head over there now, and we'll see what's for sale, what you can get. And these are on every major city. So any major city you're in, you're going to be able to find this Bloodstone Exchange. And you can see in here, you can buy XP potions, you can buy silver chests, but then you can also go to honing materials. And here you can buy harmony shards, destruction stones. You can buy honing materials for every class, or for every tier with your bloodstones. But you'll notice here, there's a lockout here. So if I go back, this character is in tier 1. This is one of my alts. I just wanted to show you this without these being bought out. But you can see here that these are going to require your guild shop to be researched at certain levels. So this is a guild shop. This is just regular. You'll be able to always buy this, but this, your guild shop needs to have research level 2. And this one, your guild shop needs research level 4. So this is why it's important to be in an active guild. If I can get in a guild that has research level 4 completed, I could buy all 3 of these. But in the guild I'm in right now, they only have research level 2 done. So I'm only able to buy the first 2 here. And you can see this costs 80 blood shards for this weekly limit. I've got 4,800 saved up on this character. To be honest, I just haven't really been spending them on this character yet. But you can get, a couple of thousand a week. And so being able to buy these mats every week is totally feasible. And you'll be able to stock up on some extra mats if you're hurting for mats and trying to grind to raise your level. I will also add that you're also able to buy these chests here, which are going to give you a chance to get entrance tickets to cubes, and then in tier 2 and tier 3 also get you entrance tickets into cubes and also the boss rush. So these are a great thing to buy each week as well. So that's the Bloodstone vendor. This is a really easy way to get some extra mats, and all you have to do is be in an active guild. So if you're not in a guild yet, I highly recommend it. It's a really easy way to get extra mats. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is the tower. All right, so here we are. We're going to check out the tower here. So I'm just going to show you on the map here real quick what the tower symbol looks like, so you know what you're looking for. And it's going to be this symbol right on the right here. This is going to be your tower. That's going to be in every major city. And it's usually grouped up with the boss rush and cube as well. So this is the tower here. So if we go over to the tower, the first time you clear the tower, it's going to give you a lot of different mats. At least for the tier 1, you're going to get different things like engraving books. You're going to get some rapport items. It's going to be items like that. But after you've cleared it once, any other character that goes on to do the tower is going to get honing materials. And every character can do this. And there's been a lot of discussion about a lot of people say you should do the tower first on your alt so that your main can then use the mats. I think that was really just for people who were pushing tier 3 right on release. I don't really think it's the case anymore. I did the tower on my main because I had alts that were going to be wanting to push through tier 1. And so I wanted them to be able to have the mats. My main was already on her way out of tier 1 or maybe even in tier 2 at that time, and so I had no use on tier 1 mats. So now I get on my alts and I do the tower, and you run through these floors and you'll notice you get harmony shards, you're going to get leap stones, you're going to get guardian stones. Eventually you're going to start getting some destruction stones as you're re-clearing this tower. So this is a really good way to get mats on your alternate characters after the tower has already been cleared by one character. You can do this on every character that you have. And you can do the same thing on the tier 2 character. Once that has been cleared, it's also going to give tier 2 mats. So if you're in need of tier 2 mats, just have your main character run through the tower, or whatever character you want to run through the tower. And then whoever needs these mats can run this tier 2 tower and start to get mats. I mean, leap stones tend to be the big, at least for me, they were the big stopping point in trying to get through tier 2. And you see you get 20 here, you get 50 here. So it's a fair amount of materials, and I haven't cleared this tower yet, but you'll notice I've only done a few floors. I think I've only gone up to floor 12 here, and so it already lets any characters that I want go at least through floor 12 to get materials. So the tower is an amazing way to get mats if you're in a pinch and you haven't run it on that character yet. Again, you need to clear it first and get those initial awards before you can actually get these honing materials for the second clear on other characters. So choose a character to run through it and get the initial rewards, and then every character after that is able to run the tower and get honing materials. So it's a really good resource. And that's pretty much it for the tower. The next thing we're going to talk about is islands. So for this part of the video, I'm not actually going to show you any footage of it, but I am going to talk about this document because this document is amazing. I will share it down below so that you can have access to it as well. I did not make this document. I'm not even sure who did. It looks like it's up here, this Malo person. And they also have a Twitch stream, so I would highly recommend going and following them because this document has been very helpful for me to figure out what islands to get done to get mats, and you'll see how helpful it is. So if I scroll down, if you're looking for T1 upgrade materials, it has a list of the island, what eye level you need to be in to go into it, what exactly it rewards, and how long on average it's going to take you to finish that island. So this is an amazing list to go through if you are hurting for tier 1 materials and you haven't gone through these islands yet, or maybe you've done some and you're not sure which other ones you should do to get materials. This list is great, and it has the same thing for engravings, so you can find different engravings, pirate coins, but if you keep scrolling you get T2 as well. So if you need T2 materials, this is where you would go. You go to this part of the document, find the islands that you can go to that you haven't done yet, and get your materials. So if you haven't gone through all of the islands, or you're not sure which ones to go to get mats, this document will save you a lot of time, and you can go through and get done what you can to get those mats, get your upgrades, and keep progressing even though you've finished your chaos dungeons and your guardian raids for the day. That's really all I wanted to say for islands. This is a great document. I'm very appreciative of it, and I think it'll be very helpful. So again, it's going to be down below. If you look underneath this video, I'm going to post a link to this document so that you can have it for yourself. The next thing we're going to talk about is infinite chaos. So we'll actually just skip right to it. Let me get back into the game here. And we're going to go back down here to the chaos dungeons so I can show you what infinite chaos is. You may have heard of the term infinite chaos before, but infinite chaos basically means running the chaos dungeons over and over and over again. And you may be wondering, if you aren't familiar with this concept, as to why people would be doing that. Because the first two times you have your aura resonance and do your chaos dungeons, you're going to be getting mats. You're going to be getting these materials that you normally need. But after that, you're going to be getting these different materials. And that is when you go and talk to this person, this exchange chaos dungeon shard vendor. And when you talk to them, you'll see they are actually selling mats, and they're selling quite a bit of them. And so if you want to get these mats, all you need to do is get these perception shards. And the same thing if you want to buy some accessories as well. You need these disorder crystals, and you can buy some accessories with some random chances of engravings and stats. So how do you get these things? You run chaos dungeons. Even after you finish your first two, after you go in that third time, it's going to start dropping these perception shards. It's going to start dropping these disorder crystals, and there's different materials. There's guardian shards and contempt crystals for tier 2, and then if you're in tier 3, it's shard of purification and fragment of longing for tier 3. So each tier has this infinite chaos dungeon option, and so all you do is continuously run those infinite chaos dungeons until you have enough mats to buy out the resource that you want. So you just run them and run them and run them, gather all these shards, and then trade them in to get the mats. So it's an extra way to get some extra mats out of chaos dungeons. And I think we all know chaos dungeons are pretty easy. They're kind of a fun activity, just relax and kill a billion mobs. So it's really kind of painless. And once you get that done, you trade those in, you get your mats, you're good to go. You can try some more upgrades. But one thing I will say, tier 3 is a little different than tier 1 and tier 2 exchange for this guardian, this chaos dungeon exchange. For these, it's actually going to change the price every time you buy an item. So once you buy one item for the week, it's going to, you see this red arrow here, it's going to increase the price after every purchase. So eventually these weekly limits look amazing. You can get 99 of these. That's amazing. You're never going to be able to buy 99 of them. Not at least for me. There's no way, because after you buy the first one, they're going to go up in price, and they're going to continue to go up in price after every purchase until grinding out that amount of shards of purification is unreasonable, and you probably won't be able to put in the time to actually get those, or it's not worth your time to actually get those. So that's Infinite Chaos Dungeons. It's really simple, but also another great way to get materials. And the last thing I want to talk about is Mari's Shop. And Mari's Shop might seem like you don't necessarily want to do it. Maybe you're afraid that you're spending money and that you don't want to put any money into the game. You think this is the pay to win part of the game, and maybe it is a little bit. But there are ways that you can buy these things without actually spending your own real money. So first we'll talk about what Mari's Shop is. Mari's Shop is a daily deal that rotates and changes on what's for sale, and you can buy different honing materials. And you can also buy some different things like card packs, rapport chests, stronghold energy. I don't mess with these. I don't need these. I think I'll get these just through playing the game. What I do like to buy sometimes is the materials. And they're a pretty good deal, and they've actually buffed them recently. They used to give you a lot less materials. These life leap stones used to be like 10 to 14 of them, and now it's 40 of them. The price obviously increased, but just the fact that you can buy more each time you're buying is very nice. So these do cost crystals. You buy them, you go in, you just hit buy, click OK, and you're going to have those materials. And it says, do you want to open the product and claim it? I usually just click cancel, because what ends up happening is these things will sit in your inventory, and then you just, whatever character you want to get them on, you can click claim and get those. So I usually leave them in the product inventory until I need them, so I don't actually accidentally claim it and bind it to a character I don't want it on. So that's really all Mari's Shop is just a way for you to buy those extra mats, or in some cases, you know, extra other materials like Unitas dailies, all of these different things that you might want to buy as well. So now we get to the point of, is Mari's Shop worth it? Should you be using Mari's Shop? Should you be spending your crystals on these materials? Well, that's up to you. That's up to your preference. But the idea of Mari's Shop is to give you an option to buy these things other than the market. And so you have to do this game of, is Mari's Shop cheaper to buy these things than the market is? So would I be better off spending my gold on the market, or am I getting a better deal by buying it in Mari's Shop? And the way you do this is twofold. So we'll take a look. We need to find the gold vendor, or the exchange. That's what we want. We want the exchange. Currency exchange. And so they're down here. So let's go talk to that person, and we'll see what the market's doing right now. And this is where you need to play a little bit of a game. A little bit of a game of, you know, checking the market, seeing if things are worth it. And maybe this isn't something you even want to dive into, and that's totally your call and totally okay if you don't want to mess with it. So your goal here is to see, okay, how much do crystals cost right now? So at the time of making this video, crystals cost 748 for about 100 crystals. So 748 gold for about 100 crystals. So I can now value 100 crystals at 750 gold now. So 750 gold per 100 crystals. So if I go back to Mari's Shop, let's see if we can find something that's about 50 crystals. So let's say these honor shards. Okay, I can get 10 small packs of these honor shards for about 50 crystals, which if we split our 750 in half, we're looking at what, 375 gold that this would be costing me in crystals. So 375 for 10 of these packs. So now let's go to the market and see how much 10 of those honor shard pouches would cost us. So if I search honor shard pouches and I say I want to buy 10, that would cost me 850 gold to buy those. So if I'm deciding that I want to buy this small pouch of honor shards, to get this amount on Mari's Shop, it would cost me 375 gold worth of crystals, and to buy them from the market, it would cost me 850 gold on the market. So it's infinitely cheaper to buy these from Mari in this case. And this is all you would really need to do. You're trying to figure out, is this worth it for me to buy these from Mari, or can I buy them cheaper on the market? And if I can't, then I buy them from Mari. And so if you don't have enough crystals right now, if you don't have the crystals, and this is where you go to this vendor and you say, okay, I would like to buy some crystals. I go to buy crystals. The sale price is 752 right now for 100 crystals. Yeah, I want to get 2 of those so I can get a total of 190 crystals, and I click add. I click add again, And then I've listed that. And so now someone's going to trade me that. And it usually happens pretty quick if you stick around the market price. And you go over here to history and you can see my amount attainable, 190 crystals. And I click claim. And now I have those crystals. So I just traded my gold for blue crystals because I realized my gold was worth more on Mari's shop than it was on the market for the item I wanted to buy. So Mari's shop is definitely a game of playing the market, checking those prices, seeing if Mari's shop is in fact a deal. And if it is, you go ahead and buy that on Mari's shop. But again, if it's not a deal and it's cheaper on the market and you really do want those items, then by all means, go to the market and buy what you need. I wouldn't be sitting here afraid to spend your gold at this point. If you've got a decent amount of gold, if you've got any saved up, don't be afraid to spend it on these mats. Once you get to tier 3 and you start doing different abyssal dungeons and different things, you're going to get a lot more gold. And so eventually it'll all come out in the wash, right? And so you're spending your time honing how you would like to hone and not gated by waiting for more materials for the next day. So manage it how you want. I would keep at least maybe 1,000 to 2,000 gold always in your account, just for different activities like honing and other activities that actually do eventually start to cost gold in order to give it an attempt. So you don't want to get too low, but if you've got a little bit of gold to spare, this isn't really a bad way to spend it. And blue crystals are great to have around too if you exchange them, because you know some things you can exchange blue crystals for, like skin packs. Down the line we'll probably have some skin packs that you can use your crystals on. Same thing with some mounts and pets. You're going to be able to exchange crystals for those, so they're not just used for Mari's shop. You can use those for a lot of different things in the shop as well. That's my long spiel on Mari's shop. Sorry if that went a little long, but I do think it's important to understand that it's a feature that everybody can use and not just people who are spending money in the game trying to whale and upgrade. Everybody can use Mari's shop and use it as a boost for themselves, and at this point I do think it's a pretty good deal with the market prices right now. So it's definitely worth your time if you're looking for those quick upgrades. And so that's really everything. You can use all these different resources to try to get different materials. So you've got a lot of options besides just your chaos dungeons and your guardian raids to actually be able to get extra honing materials to give yourself some extra chances in those days. I know how it feels to have 1 or 2 upgrades away from getting to tier 2 or getting to tier 3, or maybe just to get to that next guardian raid that you want to be able to fight. So hopefully these help you to get a little bit of extra resources and maybe make those extra few hones each day to be able to continue to upgrade even when you've exhausted your chaos dungeons and guardian raids. I hope you liked this video. Please feel free to subscribe. I'm going to try to make more videos on this account. I really love this game and I would love to share things I learn along the way with you. If you have any other tips and tricks, please feel free to leave them in the comments as well. I may not have covered everything. There may be other ways to get materials that I haven't talked about. So if you know of any, please feel free to share. I would absolutely love to learn some myself. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.